Sounds really good. You guys sound good. By the way, great question, Bob, and a great technical answer. I don't think we've had great technical answers like that, so I hope that
I like to get the technical stuff in there a little bit.
It was actually very cool. It was a great question. I was like, wow. I was like, great question. And then your answer was like, wow. I was like, cool. I can visualize that. But I was getting down on my knee trying to do the.
No, but that's a funny thing. You know? On this deal, we interview these people, and you know, a lot of them are, you know, real beauties and have all these stories and everything like that. But they never want to talk about actual hockey.
Right.
They talk about, oh, I had a 12-hour lunch with Gordie Howe or something like that, you know.
Which is a great story, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, or like, you know, this person's the DJ or, you know, whatever.
Right.
We went out in this town, but it's really cool to get like that.
That's cool. We've had a lot of people on that actually teach and coach, and they don't really talk about the technical stuff, so that was very cool. Yeah. All right.
Okay, anyway, we digress.
It's not really digressing.
Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate that question. I've never gotten a question like that before.
Yeah, we do good research. Bob's a good researcher. Okay. So we're going to do rapid fire.
I'm going to mute.
You can take, Bob kind of lays back on this, but you want to tell a story to give the answer? You want to give a quick answer? However you want to do it, wherever comes to mind, go ahead.
Right.
And I'm going to use your recent feedback to introduce you properly, okay?
Okay.
Today we have Moose of the NWHL's Metropolitan Riveters. Thanks for joining me, Moose.
No problem. I'm happy to be here.
First rink you skated on?
I would say Warreninko, which is this rink. It was outdoors, had a roof, but it was open. Just a local rink nearby where I grew up in New Jersey in Union County. And I think I did like a learn to skate type clinic there with my brother.
What sports did you play in high school?
Hockey, that's it. And I hate saying that because I'm a big believer in not specializing too early. Play as many sports as you can for as long as you can. Soccer was my favorite sport before hockey took over. But I ended up going to a high school where I couldn't really play multiple sports. They sort of required you to specialize. I could have played soccer and I didn't. And I, for the school, and it was a boys team, and said, you know, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to focus on hockey. And I sort of regret doing that, to be honest. I still love soccer.
Biggest shithole arena?
Knew this question was coming, and I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. If anyone's listening who has been to a rink and loves it or operates a rink, I'm going to say there's a rink. I'm not going to say the name. I have to say the name. It's called Rock Ice. It's in Denella, New Jersey. I hadn't been there, and I was for the first time a few years ago, actually for a Riveters practice. And I didn't even know it existed because I had never been there. I didn't know there were any teams that played there. And it's not even that far from where I grew up. So I was kind of like taken aback. I was like, why don't I know this rink? What's going on? I thought I knew every rink in New Jersey. I guess that wasn't the case. And I don't want to hate too much on Rock Ice because they did give us ice there, which I'm always grateful for. You know, hockey is a gift, ice time is a gift. That being said, it wasn't the best facility because it was freezing. It was freezing, and just, it's very, very small. Like, it's basically an ice sheet with like 4 walls around it and a few locker rooms.
Sammy Hagar or Diamond David Lee Roth?
David Lee Roth.
You want to give a shout out to a teacher or coach who had a big impact in your life?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Bill Ward. He was my high school coach. He was the one who recruited me. I was planning on going to my local public high school. He recruited me at a showcase the summer prior to my freshman year of high school, and this was like August, so it was like a quick decision. Do you want to come play for me or do you not? And my dad and I chatted with him. There was like a little fair they had. All the different prep schools had like stations around. It was mostly prep schools. It was a prep school showcase. And My dad and I chatted with him for a very long time, and he is really the person who got me there, because I think we had a really good conversation, and I clearly my dad, who was there with me, felt comfortable leaving him in my hands, because it was a boarding school as well, so I lived there. I was up in Lake Placid, 5 hours away. I was only 14 years old, and he's one of the best coaches, if not the best coach I've ever had. Just a great guy all around. I learned a lot of important lessons from him that will carry me throughout life.
Red or black licorice?
Red.
Favorite Rink Stories episode?
Haley Moore.
Favorite hockey movie?
Oy, Miracle. I have to say Miracle, but Mighty Ducks trilogy is a close second.
Last question. Dead or alive, one dinner guest?
When I get this question, it's usually 3. So it's hard to choose one. I usually get to choose 3. I'm gonna go with Manon Rhéaume, who, those who don't know her, she was the only female to ever play in an NHL game. She played in an exhibition game for the Tampa Bay Lightning. She was a goalie, and for that reason, she was my hero growing up, because I had no female role models to emulate. I saw that she had played in the game. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I still think it's the coolest thing ever. And she's just an inspiration to all female hockey players.
Awesome. The question originally was 3 dinner guests, dead or alive, and Bob thought that it would take too long for guests to come up with 3 people.
No.
So you definitely gave
with one.
I think you definitely gave the most thorough answers.
I'm not surprised about
Not
that
everything.
at all.
So do you want, I mean, it might be beyond Moose, it might be on the moment here, but do you want to add the 2 people to your dinner table? Because I like the 3. I think we might go back to 3. No?
No, I don't.
Okay. Bob, comments?
First of all, the thing with the shithole rinks is the people who work over there and manage those rinks have very little to do with the place being a shithole. It's because they're underfunded, they're not renovated, etc. So, and obviously some of these places, so you listened to the Haley Moore episode, she talked about Hockeytown very lovingly, and that place is an absolute dump to this day.
So she was actually really sharp the way she did it. She said Hockeytown was a shithole, but then she basically said she begged her parents to take her there after her normal practice so she can go get additional ice time. So she loved the place, but it was the biggest shithole. So she kind of gave it some props while she called it a shithole. I thought that was well done.
Yes, because honestly, I listened to her episode, obviously, and I hearing that question and just knowing what you guys are about, I fully expected you to ask me that question. I was like, shit, I don't know what I'm gonna say, because I'll feel bad. Whoever I call out, I'll feel bad, especially if it's a rink from New Jersey, because I have so much Jersey pride. But I had to say it because we practiced there a few seasons ago, and everyone was like, what the heck is this?
The favorite episode question I love, because I love to see if you haven't listened to an episode, you say this one. But if you've listened to an episode, you name an episode. So I always love to get that answer to figure out if the person that's sitting there has ever listened to one of our episodes before they came on.
I like that. Keep them on their toes.
Absolutely.
Yep. That's it.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to throw it back to Bob, but that was a lot of fun. We're going to put that to some music, and you'll enjoy it.
Sweet.
All right. So do you want to do another recording?
I am. Let me mute me, and then I'll do that. I'll get out of this.